Is you right, cuz? The enemy is on attack, can't be fighting us. We waking up the who.
Hey y'all, welcome back. Welcome back. I am back with my brother Nehemiah Shalom. But before
Shalom,
I allow
sister.
him to speak, I want him to understand why it was important for him to be on this show with me today as we relaunch Kingdom Culture Live. So we had one of the most liveliest shows I think that I had when we were on at the Fishbowl. Man, and he probably thought he offended me in some type of way, but brother, you didn't. I want you to know you didn't, because even though you presented your beliefs with such passion, you also did it with a lot of love and a lot of gentleness that may not have been apparent on. I felt it. That's all that needs to be said. And
Yes,
you were
ma'am.
very, very respectful about it, and I appreciated that more than you know. And
Yes, ma'am.
while I am still not, I'm still not an active Hebrew Israelite, what you did was you challenged me to examine my own faith. And even though I was kind of going through a deconstructing period, as they like to say, and reconstructing my own faith and beliefs, it made me dig deeper into my word so that I'm more convicted by Christ and
Yes,
not
ma'am.
standing on some false principle or belief or religiosity, as people like to call it. So you challenge me to dig deeper in that way, and it actually strengthened my spiritual walk. So it's probably what your intended result, but that's okay, but still was edifying
Yes, ma'am.
because I could still hear
That was
your voice in my head, and it challenged me, and I appreciate that.
yes, ma'am. That
Truly,
was the
truly
that was the
appreciate that.
intended that was the intended purpose. And I noticed you've been asking all the guests about the past 5 years. And ever since
Mm-hmm.
that point, I'm like when you called me about it, or Sister Delta let me know you wanted to do it, it actually I'm like, what I done? I ain't been doing nothing. But from what I'm
Yes.
hearing from you and when you talking to the other guests, I know why I'm here. You just told me why you brought me on here, but to land me back off of that, I got a message. I got a message that I can teach on a plethora of different subject matters. But the message that I got, and then I'm gonna stick with for the rest of my life, is we need to learn how to put on Christ. And that's why when I even dealt with you, I was in the process of learning how to put on Christ. Christ don't have to yell at, he didn't have to yell at nobody. He didn't have to talk down on nobody. He didn't have to talk to nobody crazy because he had the wisdom. And if we ask for knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, then
Mm.
shouldn't we be following Christ like that? And one of my favorite scriptures in the Bible is 1 Peter 2:21, where it say that Christ also suffered us, leaving us an example that we should follow, right? And he said, who did no sin, who had no guile in his mouth. When they reviled him, he didn't revile back. That's what we should be following. That's what I have truly learned over the past 5 years, how to put on Christ. So that's why when
Mm.
I'm dealing with my people, we have to deal with them in that gentle way while also being firm about what the Most High told us to do. But it don't require us to go out here and act like crazy people. That ain't what we're supposed to be doing. So it's good to be in a congregation. It's good to go out and teach. It's good to be a leader. But this is what I discovered. If I don't walk like Christ, if I don't follow Christ's example, then I'm no good to the people that's following me. And so I'm out here teaching that we should put on Christ. That's what we should do anyway. And if your leader not teaching that, then he don't have Christ on him. I'm sorry. And when we talking about the kingdom, ain't everybody gonna have to have their garments white and clean and pristine, meaning you ain't supposed to have no sin? How is the only way we're gonna achieve that? But following Christ. So I said the past 5 years, and I examined the first 5 years that I was in the truth. And it's not the way we supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be teaching to put on Christ. That way, if I got on Christ and you got on Christ, that's what makes the kingdom. That's what makes us have unity. I can't be Nehemiah in the truth trying to teach the Bible. I have to be Christ. You have to be Christ. We all have to be Christ, or else it's not a kingdom. Everybody want to be they self, but didn't the Bible say put off the old man and put on the new man?
Yes.
See, that's the only thing I see, sister. Everything else, I can teach on the history. I can teach on the etymology. I can teach on New Testament, Old Testament, Apocrypha, all that. But what does all that matter if you don't learn how to put on Christ? You got to learn how to do the first and second greatest commandment. That's the only thing on my mind right now. That's the only thing. I teach other stuff, but that's always going to be the main thing that I'm teaching. So when we had our conversation, that's what's on my mind when I'm talking to my people now. I'm not going to argue with them. I'm not going to debate them. I'm not going to get into it with them. We have to put seasoning. If we the salt of the earth, then that means we should have some seasoning when we teach it. You know what I'm saying? It should be easy to digest, to take in with love. See, I see a lot of people talking. They Israelites or they Christians or whatever they want to label themselves. But how many people are saying, I put on Christ? That's what I learned in the last 5 years, because I've been through a lot. I believe when we had our conversation, was I with the battle axes?
Yes.
Well, from that time, them still my brothers. But we started the swords of the spirit. And during that transition is when I learned how to put on Christ. That's why I know if we have a problem with each other, a brother got a problem with a brother, or a sister got a problem with a sister, if we put on Christ, we can handle these things, and we can have unity, and we can love one another. But what do you see in the community? Every time somebody got a problem with somebody, it's separation. It's division. That's what Satan wants. He wants us to be divided. So the only way we're going to stop that is the leaders have to teach to put on Christ. As a matter of fact, shout out to my Elder Nathan, y'all. We got a slogan now. The sisters need to put on some clothes, and the brothers need to put on Christ. And we'll get farther than where we ever been. So that's what I've been doing the past 5 years. Music, I love music. I got a lot of music I ain't even put out. Music is secondary when it comes to the ministry, because I know how important it is for us to teach this Bible. But what's more important is for me to be an example of what I'm teaching. And that's what I learned. I'm not just doing this. We have to walk it like we talk it. And that's the journey that I've been on the past 5 years, is putting on Christ, keeping Christ on, and trying to teach other people how to put on Christ so that we can walk down the path of righteousness. Because you're not going to walk down, I'm not going to walk down the path of righteousness being Nehemiah. Because Nehemiah got some flaws. Nehemiah got some faults. Nehemiah got some issues. But if I put on Christ, all that will dissolve away. If I put on the mind of Christ, like, well, you know how they say in the Christian church, what would Jesus do? That's a true statement. That's how we should think. If somebody to mess you over, just think, what would Jesus do? What would Christ do? What would Yahushua do? He ain't finna do what you finna do. And that's what I learned. That's what I learned, sis. So,
wow, man, you see how the Spirit works? You see how the Holy Spirit works? I didn't even know. Yes. I knew what I wanted to say to you, but I had no idea that the conversation would go like this, and that this has been your path. And it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful.
Yes, this is my life. I'm trying to make it into the kingdom for real. This is not no joke to me. My people, it's not no joke. This is real life what we live. and we living in hell. And the only way to get out of it is to grab hold of the Most High and follow His Son. That's spiritual facts. And people taking it for a joke, even Israelites taking it for a joke, Christians taking it for a joke. This is not no joke. Look at our people condition. Look at our children. It hurt me to my core what's happening to our children. But the only way we can stop it is we have to put on Christ. And that's all the Lord keep telling me. This is what I wake up in my head every morning. Because that's why I have to show people how to do it. See, people be saying it, put on Christ, put on Christ. How do you put on Christ? Because you're going to go through something that's going to be really bad, like what happened to me with my peoples that I thought was my peoples. Then they start attacking me. What would Christ do? What would Yahushua do? Oh, he said it right here. He did no sin. He had no guile. When they reviled against him, he didn't revile back. Oh, that's what I'm going to do. Simple as that. Simple as that. And you can at least alleviate some of the drama that happens. If they don't get a response back, that's going to kill that. And that's what happened. But if I go do what Nehemiah want to do, we're going to go back and forth. And what we do, we just reverberating the same hatred that we've been reverberating all this time. I'm not doing it no more. I'm not getting into it with my people. I'm not getting into it with no Israelites. I'm not debating about the scriptures. I'm not doing none of that. Because we know the word is real. So what we debate? Live in your truth. Live in the truth. You won't have to debate nothing. And my truth is, if we don't put on Christ, you ain't got to worry about no kingdom. What he get sacked? What he die on the cross for? What he get killed for? For us to keep doing the same thing that we've been doing? Nope. He did not do that for that. So if you truly love the Most High, if you truly love Christ, you would take that in consideration, that that man died for the whole nation, for us. So the least we can do is stand up for our people the same way. And that's where I'm at, sis. That's where I've always been at, but now I'm more convicted about it.
Feels good, doesn't it?
Yeah, I almost bring a tear to my eye because I'm serious. I really love my people. I really love the Most High. I love Christ. I love my family. So in that order, this is serious. So music, that's why you might not see me out there like I used to. Because you can call me Enoch. I don't have to be in the public light. I come out and teach when I need to teach, and I'm going back and return to my place. Because I don't need no fanfare. I don't need no titles. I don't need no awards. I don't want none of that. I just want to make the Father happy. That's it. That's it.
They say that's it and that's all. That's all that matters.
That's all.
That's
yes,
all
ma'am.
that matters.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
You've left me speechless, and you know that's hard, Brother Nehemiah. I always have something to say. Oh gosh, that's the testimony. That's the testimony. That's the journey. And I guess that's, it's okay. We all go through what we do on our spiritual journey, but we have to embrace the fact that it is a journey. And that we should be growing in that journey. And sometimes that growth is pain. It's painful. Yep. You say you Enoch, I don't know what, Jonah. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. I was Jonah. Yeah. So I understand.
Running from your destiny.
Running, and things didn't start getting better for me in Houston until I stopped and embraced it and said, God, I'm not quite sure why I'm here, but I'm gonna let you use me. And whoa. I didn't know what I was asking for, but it was like, it's been life-changing. I didn't know it's been life-changing. So no more running, just standing steadfast in the Lord. So man, thank you. Thank you
Yes,
for
ma'am.
that. That is so
I,
thank you.
I thank
Wow.
you for letting me put that message out because that's the message. That's the message
And
that we all need to be doing. So I
that's what Kingdom
appreciate you.
Culture is for. Oh no, I appreciate you because this is these kinds of conversations that build a platform. You know, I think I was a little flood. I didn't know what I was doing, Nehemiah. I felt like I was kind of out over the place, but I want to have conversations that matter, that give hope, that give strength, that gives encouragement and set examples. So thank you
Hmm.
for all of that. Thank you
Yes,
for
ma'am.
all of that. So we're going to take a break and then I'm come back, y'all, and bring all my guests together and we're going to continue our conversation for a bit. So stay tuned.
Yes, ma'am.